I remember I woke up early that morning and she was sitting on the couch across from me. And I remember her just kind of staring into space, and I asked if she was okay. And she said that no matter what, I love you. And I was like, I love you too, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine, you can go back to sleep. And so I just kind of rolled over and went back to sleep. And then the next thing I woke up to a lot of screaming and a lot of chaos.
What did you think after you sort of became aware of what had happened?
I saw that my mom had a knife in her hand, and there was blood on the knife, and my older brother Clifford had happened to be there, and he was wrestling with her, and the whole time he just kept yelling at me and telling me to call 911, and I was like, okay, what do I say? Like, I still wasn't really sure of what had happened, and so he just kept yelling, call 911, and then eventually he told me that he said Mom had stabbed Patrick, and at that moment I was just like, okay, this is a lot bigger than what I never in a million years thought anything like that would ever happen. I took the phone from Will, and he was on the phone with 911. I gave him our address, and I told him everything. And he had thrown back the covers, and Patrick was laying there in the bed. And there was blood everywhere at that point. And I remember just telling, 911 what was going on and where we were at. And Will grabbed Patrick by the wrist, both wrists, and slid him across the bed. And I was like, you can't do that. You have to lay him down flat. And so he laid him on the floor, and I remember telling 911 that I needed to go because I had to take care of him. And at that point, I knew they already had our address, so they were on the way. So I hung up, and I remember holding Patrick and just asking him to talk to me and telling him to say his name and asking him if he was okay. And the first thing he said to me was, tell Mom I love her. And at that point, it was just like, wow. I didn't know what to say. And so I just kept trying to get him to talk to me. And then he asked me for help. And then he just kind of went a little limp. And I walked into the kitchen. And my mom was in the fetal position, and my brother was attempting to hold her hands, and she was trying to stab herself repetitively. I remember just looking at her hands, and she had multiple knives in her hands. They took us to the police station, and my mom was actually down the hall from us, and we could hear her screaming that they were coming to get her, and that they were coming to get us, and she was worried. And I remember her like asking about us and asking that if everything was okay, and she kept trying to pull her hair out, and I mean, it was something I had never seen, so it was really, really sad.